for the feature match of round 3 of Ryan Dale versus Ken Lai. Ryan Dale will be playing Pepe, and Ken Lai will be playing Stellarknight. Oh, they're starting right away, so Ryan rolls a 9. I believe like the die off screen is a 6 or a 5, so Ken Lai chose to go first. Now, I actually don't know this matchup very well, and I kind of wish I knew more, because back when Excited Night was still there, Pepe did struggle a little because of Excited Night. They can commit to the board quite fast, but that does leave them with a lot more cards on the field, so Excited Night was a very good play against the deck. But the banning of Excited Night, well, now Ken Lai is actually opening his play with a Knuckle Eye, and Knuckle Eye will be dumping Deneb into the graveyard. So this is pretty standard stuff so far. Starting with an instant fusion. This is a bit strange to me. Deneb will not get his effect from Norden, of course, because Norden negates the effect of the monster that it revives. But that does give him an opening turn rank 4. I think I see an Oasis of Dragon Soul, so I guess it doesn't really matter if he can set up with the Norden. So I think he's trying to exceed. He somehow pulled back there just to check on his extra deck. Like, just to give a brief intro of both players, Ken Lai was, I guess, he taught me how to play competitively back in the Teledad days. So yeah, I owe a lot of my practice from him. And Ryan probably doesn't need very much of an intro. I'm just gonna call him Ryan now. So he's okay. Ken Lai overlays into Ptolemaeus. And attaches a diamond. I guess diamond is actually not very effective in this matchup, since not a lot of stuff goes to the grave, and the only real card it's going to negate is, I guess it's King of the Feral Imps, maybe? But sure, now Ken Lai immediately turns it into a Pleiades. No, Ryan's hand doesn't actually look that bad. I think he has a Wavering Eyes. And he has a Luster Pendulum. And I think he has a Part Naga in his hands as well, from the angle that what I can see. Yeah, he does have that Wavering Eyes. That Wavering Eyes is in his hand. Like, maybe Pleiades will actually bounce the card back when the card is played, so that you don't get a search. So technically, you give yourself a -2. That's one possible play that I can see with it. And since Ken does have an Oasis of Dragon Souls, he can revive that Deneb no problem, and then get the search. So I think Ken is actually off to a pretty good spot. Well, good start. Ryan's considering his play, knowing that there's a Pleiades, like a bad Wavering Eyes can totally just screw himself over. So he's starting with the Eccentric Archfiend. I guess there's no real point for Pleiades to spin that card back. Clearing back row is pretty decent. Hits an MST. MST is also a very good hit. Another thing that could have screwed over the Wavering Eyes. Luster Pendulum gets dropped down. Mirror Conductor. So Luster Pendulum's effect will pop the other scale to search another copy out of the deck. So second Mirror Conductor will be going into his hand. That does give Ryan a scale 5 and a scale 3. So what's going to happen now? There's a Part Naga as well. So that's actually starting to fill up Ryan's extra deck. Just to recap, he does have one Mirror Conductor and one Eccentric Archfiend in there. Eccentric Archfiend is technically very difficult to revive in a Pepe deck, just because the scale usually starts from 3 and up. But I do know that Ryan's deck does run Magic Spectrum Unicorn. Oh, there's the Wavering Eyes. Ken Lai is not bouncing his scale back. If he bounces back one of the scales, preferably the... not the Luster Pendulum, but the Mirror Conductor, I think something could have happened there. Could have given him a pretty solid minus. Now Ken Lai does take 500 damage from the Wavering Eyes. He searches another Eccentric Archfiend. He's really going with the back row clear. So Part Naga and Eccentric, that gives him a full scale. Is he gonna go with the Pendulum Summon now? Well, it is a pretty solid Pendulum Summon. There is a Luster Pendulum for the tuning of Ignister Draco Slayer. So with the 2 level 4s, that does help him regain a bit of advantage. Empire Naga does have the ability to boost attack. For each Performa Pull monsters, if I remember that correctly, for 300 attack. So Luster is definitely going straight into Synchro mode. Now there's the Draco Slayer. If there's a time to use that Pleiades, it would be right now. That if that guy goes off, he's like a Castel, he spins the card back without targeting, so it's actually more like Tiramisu. And then it also has another effect to summon a Luster Pendulum out of the deck. Not Luster Pendulum specifically, but a Draco Slayer monster. Yeah, Pleiades is spinning him back right away. Cards on the field, both players at 4-4, except that the scale is full. So Mirror Conductor has been used on the Pleiades, and now the he summons out a Damage Juggler and crashes into it. So it's 15-15, so it's a crash, and now he gets a search. Which monster is he going to go with the search for? Okay, he's going for the Plush Fire. That's a pretty solid play. And don't forget, the effect of a Mirror Conductor is a quick effect, so it can be chained onto other things and can be used during your opponent's turn. But it does cost you 500 life points if you use the on-field effect. End phase. Oasis of Dragon Souls, targeting the Deneb. Deneb will actually get his effect, but will be changed into a Worm-type monster. I really love that card. It's like a free Call the Haunted in defense mode. Sure, it's not as aggressive, and it changes the typing, but it's alright. It's a Call the Haunted. A rare Call the Haunted. I think one of the better traps that were released during that set. No. People cannot neglect the effect of Mirror Conductor. Mirror Conductor does screw over the attacks and it opens up to a lot of OTKs, especially in the Cosmo matchup. If they put a, if they summon out the Wicked Witch, it doesn't have any defense, and if they use their effect to keep it alive, you can use Mirror Conductor to swap the attack and defense, and just keep ramming all your monsters through that damage gate right there. So the Search of Altair has been added to Ken's hand, and Ken will get another draw for his draw phase. With 2 cards, I don't think he needs to shuffle his hand like that. I actually do not know what his other card in his hand is. That hand shuffling is preventing me from reading his hand. Now I don't know what the other card is set to, so maybe it'll come into play in a bit. Now I gotta be very careful running into that Mirror Conductor. It's 14 defense, but your monster technically might not be at the attack that it is stated at. So you need a monster with 1500 attack and defense to run it over. Well, I think if I was in Ken's shoes, I would probably overlay the Deneb. Since he has not summoned Deneb this turn, he does get another search by reviving it. But I think the biggest problem on the field right now is that the scales are full on Ryan's side. With a 7 and a 3, he can just like pretty much just revive his board constantly. So my priorities would be getting rid of that scale. Preferably both sides of the scale. Like Ryan's hand is public knowledge. It's the Plush Fire, so it's a scale 5. And he has 2 3s, a 5, and a 7, technically. So Triverr might not be a good idea. Yeah, kind of like being a little more careful with the Mirror Conductor. A lot of unfortunate game losses has been like dealt by this Mirror Conductor. Not game loss penalties, but like you ramming into the wrong monster with the Mirror Conductor on the field. Yeah, definitely cost a lot of life points. Yeah, he's staring at the Castell. I don't think there's any monster better than Castell to go for. You can clear the scale, probably kill the Mirror Conductor as well. And then you can summon Altair and summon out your dudes. Yeah, spinning back the Eccentric. Keeping the back row alive is very important. Like, Stellarknight is a control-based deck after all. Alright. Eccentric is back in. 3 cards to... I think 6 cards now. Well, now it's 3 cards to... yeah, 6 cards right here. Well, now 7 because of Deneb. This is actually not bad. Now the Castell cannot attack anymore because of the summoning of Altair. Another copy of Altair has been added to hand through Deneb's effect, and he's attacking. I don't think that attack's gonna go through. Yeah, so Mirror Conductor's effect will cost Ryan 500 life points, but then it will prevent him from dying because Altair only has 13 defense, which got switched over. Oh, there's a Call of the Haunted. A Knuckle Eye has been summoned, and now since its effect is once per turn, he will send the Deneb into the graveyard, and then attack over the Mirror Conductor, which has the once per turn effect. Well, this puts oh, and then a triple overlay. I believe this is Delteros. Delteros is going to clear the other scale. Wow, Ken can seriously put himself in a really advantageous position. What? Is that a Luster? Oh my god, he top decked a Luster Pendulum. Of all cards to top deck, he top decks that one. Ken's like, seriously? Of course. One of the best top decks. Not only that, he gets to get rid of that Plush Fire and search a new one and summon another monster. So technically, you definitely got a plus out of that. But we can't forget that Ken's monsters are very strong. Even if you clear them, you can't just clear the Delteros by attacking it, because it's just going to revive more monsters. Now, oh, Ken had a Max C, so he's dropping the Max C to get the summon off of the Plush Fire. So the Damage Juggler will give Ken Lai a draw. So if Ryan overcommits on this play, Ken will, if he doesn't die, he's going to recover a lot of cards. Not a lot of damage has been dealt out this game, because most of the damage right now has been self-inflicted, most of it. Okay, so he's summoning the Plush Fire to overlay. Okay, he's going Castell, so he's spinning back the Delteros for sure. There's no way I wouldn't spin that Delteros back. If it gets, like, into the graveyard and summons up more stuff out of the deck, that's bad for me. So far, he can crash it. Now, he did put the Damage Juggler into the graveyard, so he is going to get another search. He can complete his scale or search a Trick Clown. It's really up to him. Now, why I say he can search a Trick Clown, so he is crashing the Castell. Why search the Trick Clown is because the Performage Plush Fire is actually in the graveyard. And Trick Clown doesn't have to revive himself, technically. It can revive any Performage, and you can definitely revive that Plush Fire. So yeah, he went with the Trick Clown. Now, Stellarknight is one deck that does struggle to OTK because of Altair's attack clause. I can't really see what's in Ken's hand. I know there's an Altair in there. And I think another monster. I think there's a Vega. If he has a Vega, he can definitely go for the... I think a Triverr play would be... Oh, there's the Vega. Vega to Altair to Deneb. To getting another search. This is amazing. He gets to react... I think... No, I think he's going to attack. If he's going to do the Triverr play. Yeah, the Triverr play would reactivate or like make the Call the Haunted and the Oasis live again by resetting them. Which means Ken can just keep on making more and more monsters non-stop. Ryan being at 2 cards One being the Trick Clown in his hand, and the other being the Luster Pendulum. With the Triverr play, he can even pluck out a card. But if he plucks the wrong card, it's gonna be interesting. So far, Ken Lai has been playing very well as a Stellarknight player. I think Stellarknight is actually one of the decks that are still very viable in the current format. I think until Breaker of Shadow comes out, or until the Monarch deck comes out, Stellarknight definitely is going to be one of the top contenders. I think I compared it with the other results from the other regionals in Canada. In Halifax, their results of their top decks are around the same as MOS's. So yeah, the Triverr play happened, and Ken did go for the double attack earlier. And he sends a Trick Clown into the graveyard. Ooh, that is most unfortunate for Ken. Fortunate for Ryan. Ryan gets to revive his Plush Fire. Now that did cost him 1,000 life points, and the Plush Fire is at 0-0. But not too bad for Ken either. Ken does have 3 back row, 2 of which are just revival traps. I'm not exactly sure what the third one is. I guess that's the blank that I don't know. With the Luster Pendulum in hand, I think Ryan drew a trap, a Breakthrough Skill. It's an ulti card. It's either Breakthrough Skill or a warning. I can't tell. So this is actually a pretty safe play on the most part, unless of course Ken top deck the best card possible, like a warning or himself. But nope, that's not the case. And Luster Pendulum has been summoned through what's his face? Ignister's effect, spinning his Triverr back into the deck without giving the effect off of sending it to the graveyard. And now he's gonna go for the attack. It's 2850. Really solid attack. Runs over most big boss monsters. So Ken's taking it to the face. He's not reviving something to block it. And he sets 1. End phase. Oasis of Dragon Souls, once again. Oasis is better to activate on your opponent's turn compared to Call the Haunted, because it is defensive, and Call the Haunted can sometimes push for game. That's probably why he's going with the Oasis of Dragon Souls instead. Now he's either going to revive a Vega, or he's going to he's going for the Vega revival to summon out the Altair into the Deneb. Does he have another Altair in the deck? No, he does not. So he's adding a Stellarknight to hand. Well, I'm guessing he's burnt out of Altairs for now. So it was a decent exchange of damage there. 2 attacks from Ken's side and 1 attack from Ryan's side. Now he's overlaying the 3. Triverr. Warning has been activated. 2k paid by Ryan. But these 3 monsters were revived last turn. And there's also that Call the Haunted. Call the Haunted summons out the Altair. Altair summons out the not Deneb, a Knuckle-Eye. No, summons out a Vega. Is he gonna go for the summon? He's checking his deck. He's holding back. He's actually not going for the summon. He's gonna go with the 101. He's gonna absorb the monster. Ryan scoops. Although Ken couldn't have attacked, it wouldn't have really mattered because there's no way a 1-card top deck can save him. So now we go on to game 2. After siding, Ryan's going first. Starts with a Foolish Burial. Sending in the Damage Juggler into the graveyard. Foolish Burial, very versatile. It's basically a search all for that deck. There's tons of targets you can send to the graveyard. Instant Fusion, oh my god. Well, luckily, Ken did have a Maxi, so he will be drawing 1 card. for this. Is he gonna revive the damage juggler now? Since Norton's effect is optional, I don't think he's reviving this time. Well, there's nothing that you don't really lose very much by not reviving because damage juggler does. Yeah, when you banish it, you can definitely get a search. So far, Ken has drawn one card. Plush Fire has been added to hand. I do remember something happening in this game in particular. It's always good to read your opponent's cards just to make sure you know what it does. So he normal summons and then overlays. Overlays into Ptolemaeus, and then Ken draws a card. And Ken Lai drew... Oh! There's the problem. Okay. So Judge was called at this moment. At this moment, I was called to the table. As the head judge, I had to issue Ken a game loss for the actions that he performed. The reason being is he drew a card and he shuffled his hand, and we can't confirm the card that he shuffled, so it was not a repairable game state. And the reason why he drew the extra card was when he thought Ryan was attaching the material onto Ptolemaeus, he was expecting an actual summon from the Ptolemaeus during the same end phase, because that's what he commonly does, and that's what caused the extra draw. So it was not like an intentional thing, but it's unfortunate I had to give my mentor a game loss there. So I guess now we have to move on to round 3. That's most unfortunate for Ken. He did play very well in the first game, and immediately he has to struggle for the third game. So Ken's going first. In the third game, starting opening with a Deneb. Pretty decent opening. I see an Alpha in his hand as well. And a Soul Charge. Goes with a Vega Search. He might already have an Altair in hand. Now he sets 2 and passes turn. There's 2 Wavering Eyes, I think, in Ryan's hand. What is he gonna do with an Alpha on Ken's side and an Unknown on the other side? So the Damage Juggler has been summoned. They have the same attack, so technically he can crash into him. And he's gonna go with a Crash Play. So this secures the back row of the Alpha. So Alpha can be activated now. Unless there's a Call of the Haunted that can revive the Deneb. Scale of Plush Fire? Double Plush Fire. There's definitely a Wavering Eyes coming down. Oh, but can I change his Wavering? Oh, what? 3 Wavering Eyes. I'm guessing Ken actually should put in Eccentric Archfiends into his deck so he can actually search it, or he uses to counter your opponent's Wavering Eyes. Fortunately for Ryan, he had a second Wavering Eyes. Oh, that is brutal. That's two Plush Fires. That's double summon. Not only that, he added a Luster Pendulum to hand. So he's summoning out a Trick Clown and a Damage Juggler. Oh boy. Yes. Plush Fire is a very strong card. It is not once per turn for the destruction effect. Oh, this is brutal. With a Vega in hand, I'm not sure what Ken can do. Maybe he still has that. Yeah, he does have an Altair in hand. Oh, unfortunately for him, he doesn't have a Maxi this time. Although Maxi did cause him to take that game loss last round. Now, is he going to overlay with that Trick Clown and Damage Juggler? Regardless if he overlays or not, he's still in a really good spot. He's going with an MST. Kills the alpha. Oh no, now he goes for the overlay play. King of the Feral Imps, there's nothing stopping him now. King of the Feral Imps, he can either search Gigabyte or he's going with a Gigabyte. Trick Clown will now summon himself back out. And that Gigabyte is live for summon. No, but is he actually going to summon it? I don't think there's any point of actually summoning it, is there? Maybe he can make another overlay, but aside from that, he's not really setting anything up. Oh, he has a unicorn. Magispector unicorns right there. Oh, and he revives his 2 plush fires. This is amazing. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards on Ryan's side, including the cards in his hand. This puts Ken in a very bad spot. He got a -1 from the Deneb's. Well, not really -1 from the Deneb's summon, but it just died to a damage juggler, so it didn't really benefit him in any way. And most of the cards just got blown up 1 for 1. Oh, and then a Rhapsody to banish the Deneb. That makes his Altair pretty useless. Another overlay. What is he making? Ptolemaeus. Now he's popping the scale to search another unicorn into his hand. Unicorn is a very scary card if it's on the board. You know, even though it only has 2,000 attack, it can't be destroyed by card effects. So, Ryan adds a material, and then I guess that's his end phase. Ken drew an instant fusion. So he has instant fusion, soul charge, Deneb, and not Deneb, Altair and Vega in hand. He has a lot of summons technically. So standby phase, Ryan's detaching. For Ptolemaeus' effect to summon out a level 5. So he goes for his Pleiades. His Pleiades, not only that, he's going to revive the Plush Fire through Trick Clown. Really smart play. If you overlay a Trick Clown and a Plush Fire, you should remember that even though the Plush Fire is in the graveyard, you can definitely revive it. Ken's hand is just not looking ideal. Most of the plays that he has to make are pretty much committed to all-inning his opponent. Like without Deneb, he can't recover. And Deneb being banished, it's a very tough spot. Even by just the cards on the field, Ryan has 6 to Ken's 4. So no effect on the Altair. Now, is the Pleiades going to activate and just spin a card back? I'm not too sure. That would prevent the Xyz play. But I think Ryan's going to wait. He's going to wait for the summon to happen. See, this is like those... This is the point where he wished he had Exciton. If he had Stellarknight, this board is no problem. But Stellarknight is, of course, banned, and this is the point where Ken's just like, I wish I had Exciton. If I was in issues, I'd be missing Exciton right now. He does have a Soul Charge, and he also has an Instant Fusion. He has a lot of Xyz play he can make. I think he's gonna use the first monster to bait out the Pleiades. That's probably what I would do. Probably bait out that Pleiades and then go with the Soul Charge or the Instant Fusion. And this is the point where I kind of miss Lava Ball Chain too. I can't dump a Deneb into the graveyard. So he's gonna go with the Castell. Yeah, Castell would have been the best choice, but he's spinning it back, so now he has an Instant Fusion, or he has the Soul Charge. He definitely can keep on fighting. Ugh, not looking too good. What is Ken gonna do? Is he gonna go with the Soul Charge, or is he gonna go with the Instant Fusion? Soul Charge, he won't be able to attack anymore. instant fusion, he can still attack. I think instant fusion, but it will cost him a bit more life. It's just whether or not he can commit to it. He's looking at the soul charge. He's going with the soul charge. Well, at least when he uses soul charge, he only really needs to revive one. Oh, he's going to go for both. So that's 2,000 life points down for Ken. Oh, what is he gonna seize into? Without Pleiades, it's not that bad. I'm a bit surprised that Ryan didn't have like a trap when he made that Rhapsody. So if he set like an epidemic virus or something, and hit all the traps or spells, it would have been like pretty devastating as well. What would you do in their situation? In his situation, he has to overlay into something. What would be the best choice? I think he can go for the Drum. They're both light, so I'm guessing he can go for Tsukuyomi. Tsukuyomi wouldn't be too bad. Has pretty decent defense. No, he's gonna go with the Castell in defense mode. So spinning back the Plush Fire. Playing the Instant Fusion. That's his all-in commitment right there. There's no way that you don't overcommit when you do that. You have no cards in hand. One of the monsters has to die. Either he's gonna go for the 101 and then absorb the King of the Feral Imps, or he's gonna absorb the Pleiades, one or the other. Probably the King of the Feral Imps, or whichever that's attached with the Rhapsody. Oh no! Oh, I was totally wrong on this one. I think he's gonna go with the Ptolemaeus. Ptolemaeus does give Ken more options during Ryan's turn. Either way, he is really just trying to hold on to not taking the loss here. Most unfortunate, the game that he does not have a maxi is the one he's struggling with. So yeah, so I probably attach a diamond onto him. Is he going to use the effect? He is using the effect right away. During the end phase. So there's the Pleiades. Draw phase. Is he gonna let Ryan get his search? Either way, it's not the best thing to spin that back, just because there's a damage juggler in there. So even if but then if he detaches the damage juggler, it's probably a lot worse since he gets to keep 2 cards. So yeah, immediately spinning that away. So no search for Ryan. But Damage Juggler will be getting a search, so either way, that was definitely not negative on Ryan's part. The search is happening. Mirror Conductor. Mirror Conductor is very good. It can definitely screw over the attack of Ken's Pleiades, so that his own Pleiades will run it over no problem. But he could also put it on the scale and pop it. Oh no, he is gonna pop the scale with the unicorn through his luster. So he's gonna search another unicorn. Oh, this is quite interesting. I haven't really seen this before. Oh, he's putting the eccentric out. Oh, he's pendulum summoning 3 unicorns. What an epic way to finish the game. Ken Lai offers the handshake and moves on. He did not see his side cards. That was a pretty exciting way to start off with MST Open Series 2. 2 with the round 3. Well, that was a pretty epic finish on Rad Ryan's part. Congratulations on taking the round 3. And of course, if you like that video, please give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. We have more games coming up. And as always, don't forget to hold on to your MST.TV.